what we see on our screen right now is going to be our recipes and our flushes, right? There are 5 total different recipes. You can only see 4 on the screen, so if you scroll this way, then you've got the 5th one, right? First, we'll talk about those recipes. That's going to be your 2565, which is coming out of your large drum, right? This one is set up for your color 2 and color 3, again, associated in order, 1, 2, 3, right? And then, oh wait, hang on. All right, so this is going to be the same pump as that one, number 1, pump number 1, your 2565. But this one is set up at a ratio of 10%. This one is set up at a ratio of 20%, right? So he told me, I think that your 20%, it's going to be harder, it's going to take longer to dry.
Catalyze, that's just that button.
Yep. You're never going to be adjusting or adding any stuff into this, like as far as mixing it any differently than just mixing up my paint. Because this is, its whole job is to inject this at whatever ratio that you want. I've gone over it with your boss man. He knows how to go into your recipes and make adjustments, right? But you guys, as far as that goes, don't need to really be messing with anything except for this screen right here. Production screen right here, that's where y'all live, right?
And Jamie said there was 5 recipes. That's only because we've only input 5 recipes.
How many of those are 72,000? No, I think it's like 72, but you can put
Way
in
more than we're going to need.
more than you'll ever need.
So we do have a slot for a double catalyst for the sealer if we ever need it.
And
I know that's less important than top coat,
No, we'll still need it. You got a double catalyzed sealer and a double catalyzed pump. That'll be one we have.
right. And we can name them whatever we want.
Yep.
We just started with 25-65. We can name that satin, parentheses, 25-65. Parentheses, normal catalyst, 10%, or whatever we want to call it. 20% floor grade. It's been tossed around. So we can make it work for us.
So not that this is going to be very pertinent to you guys, but I'll show you where you can do that at. So this is my production screen, right? I'll press the little menu button here. I'll go into my recipes. Now I can rename my recipe. Let's not mess with either one of those, right? But if I scroll down, here's where I change that number, my percentages, right? I don't have to shut this machine down. I just change those percentages and it's going to edit those right then, that second, okay? But that's where all that is. Leave everything checked the way that it is. Make no more edits than to right here in the name, right? Because all of these have to do with air valves and stuff like that. That's all my department. This is your department, right?
Would you mind, Jamie, at this point, while it's fresh in our mind, can we rename? I think the next recipe is color 2. Can you show us how we rename that to matte? Right, instead of color 2. Okay, there we go. 2 T's.
Good there?
With an E.
We're good.
Yep.
So now that's been edited.
And
right?
what is can we see page 2 of matte? No, you're on our R2 matte. Yeah, there you go. Right, we're still at 10% catalyst ratio. It's just now saying, and now go up 1. You see how part A, it says P2? Because that's saying grab from this pump right here, P2, which we've already said is a little better.
Correct. Yeah, don't change this or this, right? If we go changing those, we're firing different valves. Okay, so if we do that, you're going to be firing a different paint pump. Okay, we just don't want to mess with those. Again, this is more his area than you guys, but I just wanted to show that to you, right? So I'm going to go back into my menu. If I ever happen to be on this screen, how I get to my production is I'm going to select production, right? And I go there. Now we've discussed the different recipes. Now we're going to discuss the 2 different flushes, right? And here's where a really cool feature about this machine comes into play I want to let you guys know about. If I'm currently in this run mode here, right? I'm running this recipe and I want to switch to this recipe, I don't have to select a flush. It's going to automatically do that in the middle. The flush that is done at that time is a production flush, right? So that's why this is here. The production flush is going to flush out this side of the machine and your lines, right? It's going to leave component B to where it is, up to here, okay? So this one, again, is only going to flush that side. Production flush is over here, right? All the way out to my gun. And that's why it's faster to do that. That's why it's the one that it does in between the changes, right? Your flushes are set up autonomously based on the distance, okay, and the CC's inside that hose. It knows it, we programmed it, right? That also affects your load sequence. It knows it, we programmed it, it's autonomous.
So don't go changing the lengths of those hoses.
Only if we
Or the
change
diameter.
the hose, right? And then he'll call me, we'll talk through it, we'll discuss it at that time, right? I don't think you'll ever need a different length hose. We tested this out, it fits all the way across to the other side of this boot. So you should be solid on there.
And around, like with a round motion as well, not just like directly across. We can get around a big table.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yes.
There should be plenty of length there. The next one you see over here is a machine flush. And opposite of the production flush, that one is going to flush your B side out also. So at the end of the day, that's the flush you do. Production flush. Excuse me, production flush is going to be the one that it does in between color changes. Machine flush is going to be the one that we do at the end of the day, right? You shouldn't have to flush the system if you're coming back, you're spraying the same thing after lunch, okay? Because his pot life is very long on this paint. So right here where it says machine flush, that's where it's at right now. But this will change, okay? The whole screen's gonna change. It's gonna tell you what's going on, what you have in there, and it will also tell you what your pot life is, right? But again, even if I leave and I end up gone for 4 hours, if I put my gun back in the gun flush box, it's gonna flush it out at that time period, right? So I leave for lunch, I don't have to flush this machine out. If I'm going to do it, I'm gonna use machine flush. That's you guys' flush, stick with machine flush every time. This one is its flush, it's gonna do that in between, right?
I have a couple of questions.
Yes,
Does the
sir.
gun have to be in the gun cabinet for both types of flushes? Or will it be in the cabinet for both?
It will be.
Yeah, okay.
Anytime that I'm flushing or changing colors, I'm gonna put the gun back into the flush box because it handles that autonomously.
Got it. If your gun is not in the box, will it allow you to do either of those flushes?
If you hold that little trigger, remember I told you about the pneumatic sensor?
Yep.
If I were to hold that pneumatic sensor and trigger the gun manually, yes.
Got it. But if you don't do that, it will not machine flush or production flush.
Correct.
Okay. And then
Correct.
really quick, the 3 lines, the word clean and the word machine flush. What is that telling us?
My
What just happened? Or
This is your menu,
yeah,
right? Okay, and then this is your current status.
it is
Okay.
currently clean.
And then this was our last operation.
So it just underwent a machine flush.
Correct.
Got it. And it is now clean.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.